green flag that you maybe passed up in your 20s that now you're like, oh, this is a go?
A green flag that I passed up in my 20s.
Yeah, like, sometimes we're like, oh, I don't want the guy that's blah, blah, but like now when we get older, we're like,
the
oh,
nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good boys. I was into them. Let me be quiet. I'm from DC, so.
Yeah, I think she said that should give you a hint. I think I used to find myself into aloof people when it's like you think that makes them interesting, but it's like no, they just don't have anything going on, but you think it's unique.
No, I like the bad boys.
Wow,
I was into them.
I feel like the bad boys always was liking me, and I'm like, I don't want to go to the trap house again. I did a few times, and it's like it's boring in there.
Yeah, well, the trap house is where you can find me.
I love that so much.
Well, I was young and dumb. I grew up, know.
Yeah. I mean, our tastes change. I was seeing an interview with Sierra where she's like, the palette changes.
Absolutely. As you get older, you want different things out of life.
You want different things.
Yeah.
I love.
Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Shamak out of the Great Millstone Atlanta camp. Before I get started, I want to give all the glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name and his only begotten Son's true name being Yahweh Shai, both in the Hebrew language of whom the world incorrectly and ignorantly called God and Jesus Christ. Also, I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well and who are the true leaders of the Hebrew Israelites within these last days. And also want to give a shalom to the hopeful elect believers and teachers that's pushing this truth all around the world. Shalom, all right? As you seen from the clip, all right, you see the reason of why we need, the exact reason why there's a need for arranged marriages within our heritage, within our culture, which it is ultimately a part of it, but we've been Americanized, we've been westernized, we've been oppressed, we've been deceived, all right, we've been brainwashed, okay, into thinking that that's what quote unquote considered slavery, that's considered control, but that's the way things were, and that's the right, and it's a right, it's a rightful, that's the rightful way for things to be. Okay, you see the reason behind it, all right, because I'm backing off the video with Taraji P. Henson, all right, and Keke Palmer, both actresses, okay, successful actresses at that, but what? All right, they're still their life is still unfulfilled because this is still a topic of discussion. All right, being single. All right, I'm not sure if either or either one of them have children or whatnot. But if they do, they're not. I don't think they're with the necessary men, whatever the case may be. But it's a reason why they're talking the way they talk. They're unfulfilled. Whether they want to push that feminism energy and vibe, okay, as if I'm happy regardless. No, man. A woman's life, a woman's nature is natural for a woman to want a husband, want their partner, okay, and children. That's a natural feeling. That's a natural feeling, okay. But what does the modern woman do in the times that we live in? They have fun. All right, girls want to have fun right in their 20s, but then want to get serious in their 30s. Do you know how many bodies takes place in the 20s? Going to college, the jobs, how many parties, all right, how many dates, all right. You know how many, man? That's a lot of spirits, man. Okay, that's a lot of trauma. That's a lot of baggage. That's a lot of mileage. That's a real thing. People like to make light of these such things, but that's real. Okay, but that's why you see there's a reason why there's a need for arranged marriages, and this is a part of our heritage. This has always been a part of our culture. All right. Me personally, I have two sons, but if I did have a daughter, which we're not going to be, hypothetically speaking, all right, if we were to, be here, all right, while I would have a daughter, okay, I would definitely arrange for that to be a brother's, arranging for her to be married to or with a brother's son, And then damn near almost like lives for my two sons. Set them up with a brother's daughter, because you know how the way this world is moving. All right, people are off. People that do not have right spirits whatsoever. They actually wicked and demonic. But this is, I put up on ChatGPT.com. I just typed in arranged marriages in the Holy Bible. All right. Arranged marriages were common throughout the culture and time period of the Holy Bible. Remember, for you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, this is our book. This is our history. This is us. These little images they trying to put up here, don't let this fool you. This is for you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. You are Israelites according to the Bible. This is about you, all right? So people like that, we bring up arranged marriages, they're like, oh, that's what somebody else did. No, that's what you did. Reincarnation is in the Bible. We all took part in this. It says in the ancient Near East, because remember where we from, man. Remember, we are from this area. Jerusalem is our homeland. We are Israelites, okay? We are a people before a place, but we still have a place. The Lord's gonna take us back to that homeland. It reads, marriages were usually viewed as a covenant between families rather than primarily as a romantic relationship. See, it's an agreement between families. You know what? You look at it as a father. You look at the next family, whether you have a son or a daughter. You look at that next family like, man, you know what? I like what they do with their children. I like they stand on the principle of the Bible. They're Hebrew, you know, they're of the faith. Okay, these things do things of the faith. These are the things that we would incorporate into our reasoning, our ideology, our thinking. It says, however, the Bible presents a variety of marriage situations, and it does not command arranged marriage as a requirement for God's people. Yeah, it's not a command. It's not, you know, I'm not doing the videos and like, oh, this needs to be, you're wicked if y'all don't know. It's just actually wise to do it. It's actually smart. You're looking out for your children's spirit. You're looking out for their soul, truly. All right, and it says number 1. So because it brings up examples of arranged marriages in the Bible, right? Number 1, Isaac and Rebekah. And remember, these are our forefathers, all right? These are our progenitors, man. It says the clearest example is Isaac and Rebekah, and you will find this in the book of Genesis chapter 24. And I do have that queued up. It says Abraham sent his servant to find a wife for Isaac. Abraham sent a servant to find a wife for Isaac, his son, from among his relatives. The servant prayed for God's guidance. Rebecca, so let's grab that. Let me just grab this account too. I want to grab this account because this is a true love story. You know, they love to make the shows and movies, Love Island. Man, this is your real love story. All right. But this is Genesis chapter 24. And then go to verse 14, because the servant of Abraham, he sent up a prayer like, man, you know, hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Baba Kashai, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know, bless me on my journey, bless me to have me able to find a young woman, a virgin, all right, you know, a wife for Abraham's son Isaac. So this is Genesis chapter 24, verse 14. This was actually through the Spirit, because it's about to show just that. It reads, it says, and let it come to pass that the damsel whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher. So he sent him a prayer. I pray thee that I may drink, and she shall say, drink, and I will give thee, so I could give thy camels drink also. Because that's how he got there. That was his journey. He traveled with his camels, on the camel's back. It says, and I will give thy camels drink also. Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for thy servant Isaac, and thereby shall I know that thou hast shown kindness unto my master. That show that the Lord is dealing with Abraham. All right, but what happened? Continuing on, it says, and it came to pass before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out. You see how quick that happened? By a snap of a finger. She was born to Bethuel, son of Machai, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. Verse 16, it says, and the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin. She was beautiful. She looked good. It said these arranged marriages, it ain't just no, man, come on, man. It's to your liking, all right? It says neither had any man known her. Yeah, because she's a virgin, man. She's untouched. You got the Taraji P. Hensons and Kiki Palmers. Oh, I ignored the nerds and the good boys. I wanted the trap boys and the bad guys. I was young and dumb. But now what? What did they say? Now the palette changes. Things change over time. Nah. You just got worn out. You're just burnt out now. The niggas, degenerate, low-level ass niggas, all right, done wore your ass out because you thought that was cool. But where are these same type of spirits now? Oh, the trap boys still at the trap. Still at the trap. Oh, in and out of jail. 5, 6 baby mamas. This type of shit. All right, but this is what they had fun with. This is where they got their adrenaline rushes from. But then what? It doesn't age well, does it? It doesn't, because now they're able to go on podcasts and look back like, oh, I was young and dumb. Well, you wouldn't have to have those type of reflections, all right, if arranged marriages were the case. You know, this is why there's a need for it within our heritage as Hebrew Israelites. All right. So this is Genesis chapter 24, verse 17. And the servant ran to meet her and said, let me, I pray thee, drink a little water of thy pitcher. And she said, drink, my lord. And she hasted and let down her pitcher upon her hand and gave him drink. See, she hurried up. She was like, oh yeah, for sure, no problem. You know, she did this without budging. Okay, it says, and when she had done giving him drink, she said, I will draw water from thy camels also until they have done drinking. See? Exactly what he prayed for. The exact prayer. That's why it was through the Spirit. But let me skip down within the same chapter of Genesis chapter 24. Let me go to a verse after the Abraham's servant had a conversation with her family. It says on the latter end of that conversation, verse 51, it says, behold, Rebekah is before thee. Take her and go, and let her be thy master's son's wife, as the Lord hath spoken. And it came to pass that when Abraham's servant heard their words, he worshiped the Lord, bowing himself to the earth. Cause he told him, I set up a prayer and this happened, man. She's the woman. She's the woman for my master servant. Okay, for my master's son, Slakia. All right, verse 53. It says, and the servant brought forth jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment and gave them to Rebekah. He gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things. See, this is a real, like, they looked out for each other. Today's time, you didn't give some money, like, hey, I give you this money, maybe some jewelry too. You know, if we had it like that, we're so depleted on this side. All right, but the idea still it can still be in place, can still be in effect. All right, verse 54. And they did eat and drink, he and the men that were with him, and tarried all night. And they rose up in the morning. He said, send me away unto my master. He said, yeah, let me, it's time for me to go. Let me, get on my way. It says, and her brother and her mother said, let the damsel abide with us a few days, at least 10. After that she shall go. And he said unto them, hinder me not, seeing the Lord have prospered my way. Send me away that I may go to my master. He like, hey, don't hold us up. Let me allow me to, for Rebekah to go with me. All right, verse 57. And they said, we will call the damsel and inquire at her mouth. And they called Rebekah and said unto her, wilt thou go with this man? And she said, I will go. See, this is it right here, man. All right, let me go on further down. All right. This is a fast forward. This is Genesis chapter 24, verse 62. And Isaac, so they're on the way back to Isaac on the camels, right? It says, and Isaac came from the way of the well, Laharoy, if I pronounce that correctly, Salakia, excuse me. It says, for he dwelt in the south country, and Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the eventide, and he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel. Look at that. That's a real love story, right? It says, for she had said unto the servant. That's why these arranged marriages, like, it's to your liking as well. Don't get it twisted. All right? And we are a beautiful people, especially when we are in the spirit. We are already a beautiful people, man. But what are women too worried about being bad bitches in this time? Everything just upside down, but it's okay. Due to the return of Yahweh Shai, everything's gonna get put right back in order. And for people that don't agree or see it, you're going to get it. The Lord's gonna make you get it. All right. This is Genesis chapter 24, verse 65. It reads, for she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, it is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. Yeah, you saw Abraham. And the servant told Isaac all things that he had done. Verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah. What does that mean? That they had sex. All right. Sexual intercourse. It says, and she became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. All right. So that's another proof to show you that, man, truly sex is marriage. All that getting on one knee, that's that Edomite, That's why you got the term romantic from the Romans, from the Edomites. Man, come on. All right, let's go back to the Chat GPT. Okay, but that also shows you to prove that sex is marriage. That's the bond of connection. You're not supposed to be able to go. A woman not supposed to be able to go collect 20, 30 bodies in her 20s. I'm probably being generous at that on some, sadly, unfortunately, for real. All right, but collecting over 25 bodies in her damn 20s and then in her 30s, dude getting on one knee and bowing to her. You know, that's not how things are supposed to be. It's not supposed to be that experienced. No, that's not it. But it says, going back to the bullet points of ChatGPT, Isaac welcomed her and she became his wife. This account combines family involvement, divine guidance, and Rebecca's consent. See, that's beautiful. You got family involvement with the mother, the brothers, the sisters, whoever's involved, divine guidance, sending up prayers to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, if this be the person for you, whatever the case may be. In his case, that was through the Spirit. He said, whoever, let that very woman come out to meet and give me water and my camel's water. And Rebecca was the one. And they received Rebecca's consent. Come on now. All right, but example 2, Jacob and Leah. All right, remember, what's our bloodline? All right, the Hebrew Israelites. Well, who do we descend from? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is all through the Spirit. All right, you will refer to Genesis chapter 29, when Jacob agreed with Laban to marry Rachel after 7 years of labor. Laban deceived Jacob by giving Leah first. All right, because Jacob ultimately asked, Laban, let me marry one of your daughters. All right, but he really preferred Leah over Rachel. But Laban, he preferred Rachel over Leah. But Laban, basically, but it's all good. It's all good because they both went to him anyway. But he worked for these women. He labored for Laban to be giving these women after 7 years. It's worth it. Man, a virgin, untouched woman that's completely yours, that's worth it, man. In these times, like, tell somebody for that virgin, beautiful women, work for a whole year. You know how we work in these times, need 40 hours a week. You're like, hell yeah, no problem. No problem, man. It's worth it. It's so worth it, man. A woman's virginity is above rubies, man. Okay? It says this story shows strong family control over marriage arrangements, though it also highlights deception and painful consequences. But let me continue on. Example 3, Judges chapter 14. Samson asked his parents to arrange a marriage with the Philistine women. His parents objected, but Samson insisted. Here, parents played an active role in the marriage process. All right, David and Michelle, it says, you will refer to 1 Samuel chapter 18. King Saul gave his daughter Michelle to David in marriage after requiring a bride price. See, royal marriages often involve political considerations. Yeah, it's a covenant. It's an agreement between houses, man. You can see this on Game of Thrones and House of Dragons. That's a real thing. And it's a powerful thing at that. It's like it's networking. It's a relationship, and it's still to your liking. Everybody just these women want to go on damn 30 dates and figure out who's the man for you. No, it's not. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Cause clearly a woman's discernment is off. Okay, but it's Hebrews. Let's get that too. This let's get that in Sirach. Let me get Sirach. Let me get Proverbs 29 real quick. Proverbs chapter 29. All right, look at this. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 15, it reads, the rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. And I'm applying this to women thinking they can decide, but look, you making the wrong decision. You want to choose the trap boys and the bad guys over the nerds and the good boys who actually had something going for themselves, who actually had sincere spirits. But that's why you can't lead them. A child left to himself. You can't, it's too risky. All right, women clearly don't make the right decision. They think they do. They clearly don't know what they're doing. The streets are no fun. They're out here losing. Women are losing in the streets. 20s, 30s, 40s, they are losing. That's the reality. All right, and we hate to see it sometimes. But hey, people when they're prideful, talking shit, arrogant, it's like, okay, find out. Go find out. Boom. The streets, the reality can tell you better than, can show you better than what we can tell you. All right. But let me continue on Hebrew roots perspective from because we are Hebrew Israelites, man. All right. It says, from a Hebrew roots perspective, marriage is understood as a covenant. Yes, an agreement, not merely a legal contract or romantic partnership. Parents commonly help choose suitable spouses because marriage affected the entire family and covenant community. Yes, that's why you have all this. Oh, it takes a village to raise. Yeah, it does take a village, but now you got all these baby daddy, baby mama, this, all this drama, all this even more confusion. All right. Because the arranged marriages are not put in place. It says key principles often emphasized include seeking God's guidance. Yes, keep it. First and foremost, it's about Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, honoring the parents, marrying within the faith. Yes, mutual covenant commitment. That's them having principles, having character, aligned with the scriptures, aligned with God's laws, such as commandments, with His Spirit. It says was consent important. Although parents frequently arrange marriages, the Bible includes examples where the woman's willingness was considered. And we just read about this example in Genesis chapter 24 with Rebecca. She said, I will go. All right. So boom. It says, does the Bible command arranged marriages? No, the Bible describes arranged marriages as part of the culture of ancient Israel. Yes, that's us. This is a part of our culture. This is the way life used to be. This is a lifestyle. It says in neighboring peoples, but it does not command all believers to practice them. Yeah, it's not, you're not wicked if you don't do it. It just would be wise. It would just be smart. And you would be looking out for your child's soul. You would have them alleviate, or minimize problems, because things are going to take place or happen, but you will minimize. You know what that family stands for. Y'all on the same page. Knowing these such things, y'all got a connection. Y'all got a relationship. Y'all that's how things are. It's a beautiful sight once it's executed. It says the New Testament places greater emphasis on qualities such as believers marrying fellow believers, husband loving their wives sacrificially, mutual honor and faithfulness within marriage. All right. And it says the biblical pattern shows that family involvement in choosing a spouse was common. Yes. Marriage was viewed as a covenant joining families. Yes. God's guidance was sought. Consent is explicitly shown in at least some cases, such as Rebecca's. Boom. Scripture describes arranged marriages without making them a universal command for all times and cultures. All right, but this used to be our way of life. All right, but now you got your daughters being whores and shameless. These women now the modern woman has no shame in their game. She's chasing money. She's chasing attention from each and everybody. This is Sirach, and this is in the Bible. This is Sirach chapter 26, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 10. It reads, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly. Yes, you have to be strict. That's a position of difficulty. You got to be strict with them. You got to be no budging. All right. It says, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. What do you see women receive this much liberty? College. Once they turn 18 and move out, too much liberty. They can't handle that much freedom, man. They cannot, even though they try to claim that, I'm responsible. I have discernment. No, you do not. You have too much liberty. You need to be guided, first and foremost, by the Lord, and also by your father, and then later by your husband. Simple. Watch over it and impugn the eye, and marvel not if she transpass against thee. Yeah, don't be shocked when your wife or daughter, sneaky as hell, transpass against your rules, go against your authority. You can't even be shocked, dude. Especially the way this world is set up in this westernized society, this Americanized society led by the so-called white man, these Edomites. Oh, it's bad. It's too bad. That's why we need the Lord to come back. All this drama, all this chaos, all this confusion, all this, it's just, man, it's bad. Okay, it's diabolical. Okay. This is Sirach chapter 26, verse 12. It reads, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. What does that mean? She's like a thirsty traveler. This is comparison to a woman. She go out. She's seeking attention from everybody. Everybody off Instagram. Everybody off. She going to the store, to the club. Every thirsty traveler, and then somebody, out of how many times they get hit on, they're going to open up their legs. It's they love attention. Then they don't say no to everybody. Okay? That's a shame. That's a shamelessness that comes with the women. Okay? It's not, and it's double standard. It's not the same with a man. The spirits are not, a woman's spirit is not supposed to have multiple partners. It's you clearly in the Bible, we just read, or in ChatGPT, it showed that Jacob later married what was that? Yeah, Jacob later also married Rachel. He had multiple women. It's natural for a woman, for a man to have multiple women, multiple partners. That's why they consider quote unquote players. Oh, he a hoe. No, you're a whore. Okay? This is not how things are supposed to be. All right, simple as that. But you see the need for arranged marriages. All right, with land backing off this podcast interview with Taraji P. Henson and Keke Palmer. All right, I was young and dumb. Oh, you can find me at the trap house. I turned down the nerds and the good guys and the good boys. You know? Oh, but now they're in their mid-30s, low 30s, 40s. Oh, now the palette changes. Oh, now it's different. Man, come on. Women, hey, this shit is simple. This society, these people are simple. Another word for stupid. All right, but this is what happens when you don't align your ways with the scriptures, with the Holy Bible, with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai as in Hebrew Israelite. This is what happens. This is what we see. All right, we're seeing the repercussions. We're seeing each and every day. Each and every day. This is a topic at hand. All right, so with that, I'm gonna end up by giving all the glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakal Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All right, and repent. Yahweh Shai is coming back. Repent. Yahweh Shai is coming back. All right. Shalom. Keep the faith. Shalom.